Well, hello from Suncorp Stadium, where the Lions have just completed their final training session ahead of tomorrow's first test. Johnny Sexton just did a kicking session with Finn Russell and the other kickers. He did a little bit of media and he called for the Lions to be great and not good at the venue where he made his test debut for the Lions 12 years ago. Sexton, of course, the kicking coach under Andy Farrell, who has picked 8 Irish starters and 3 more Irish players on the bench, a record for Irish rugby and an achievement that shouldn't be overlooked, even though it was kind of expected across the few weeks. Big calls across the board, particularly in that back row where Ty Byrne and Tom Curry have been trusted for their big game experience to get over this Wallabies team, who are missing a couple of key players, including Will Skelton and Rob Valentini. Brisbane is heaving. Finally, after a week where you're wondering, there's a bit of a trickle of fans and wondering where they all were. They were apparently up in the Gold Coast and visiting other cities. Well, the invasion has begun. The hotel is heaving. All the streets are full of red jerseys, a couple of Leinster jerseys, Munster jerseys around the place as well. Maybe people are keeping their jerseys clean for the weekend, for the sea of red that we expect. I know it's a cliche, but we saw it in Dublin. When everyone turns up in that red jersey, it is a force to be reckoned with. I was in the Gabba yesterday, interviewing Jason Robinson in a piece that will come up at the weekend on the Irish Independent website about Brian O'Driscoll's try and that historic game in 2001, 24 years ago, when the modern Lions really were launched. Fans had seen what had happened in 1997 and they booked in their droves. They surprised the Australians by invading the Gabba. It's changed a little bit these days. It's a much more complete stadium. It doesn't have the kind of higgledy-piggledy nature, but it was an amazing occasion. The Australians are prepared for that this time. I'd imagine every fan who comes will be in a gold jersey. We saw it in Newcastle for their warm-up game a couple of weeks ago. Gold everywhere. And Australia, I think it's starting to capture the imagination here. The stadium is sold out. It's about 52,000, same size as the Aviva Stadium. And I'd say it might be around 50-50 tomorrow when come kick off. Huge amount of travelling fans. Obviously there's a huge amount of British and Irish people who live here as well. Sexton was giving his backing to Finn Russell, as you would expect him to do. Russell playing alongside that Scottish combination of Sione Tuipulotu and Hugh Jones. Of course, Bundy Aki is on the bench, and Gary Ringo sadly picked up a concussion in the Brumbies game and wasn't able to play. Matt Hansen ruled out as well. We'll never know how many Irish players there would have been had they all been fit and available. Josh Van der Veer, from an Irish point of view, is the big omission, but the Welsh people are talking about Jack Morgan missing out to Tom Curry, Andy Farrell going for that big match test experience. And when you look back at the history of first test matches in Lions series, as they start trialling out the noise for tomorrow night in the stadium, anything can happen. They can be crazy. Think about O'Driscoll getting tipped on his head. Think about the All Blacks just going around the corner in 2017, stunning the Lions, who were expecting a completely different game plan. Think of 2012 when Sexton won that. 2013 when Sexton won that game and Curtly Beale slipped at the death. Mad things happen in first tests of Lions series, and if for all the build-up and all the predictions and the fact that the Lions are massive favourites, we're expecting a hugely physical Australian performance, a passionate Australian performance, a proud Australian performance, and one that is prepared by Joe Schmidt, so we know there'll be huge quality and detail and insight there as well, because he knows this Lions team and a lot of the players inside out, and the Lions know him. So expect kicking, expecting a ferocious battle at the breakdown, expect magic from Joseph Akuso Suaalii, the rugby league golfer, 21 years of age, has been tipped for great things here in this series. So much to look forward to here tomorrow. I'm going to get off